All right, so now let's look at Planning Center here. As you can see, I've got a couple things already on here. This is the My Schedule tab, and it's also up here. Make my mouse get big so you can see. My Schedule up here. You've also got plans, songs, media, and people. Okay. Planning Center is one of those things that's incredibly helpful, but it's also kind of a pain. It is so customizable that it's really hard to find things sometimes. Okay, so let's start with setting up a template. Okay, in order to do this, we're gonna go ahead and get into a plan. So come up to the plans tab up here and click on that. And as you can see, this is, we don't have all of this scheduled out. I am about to schedule all of June. Okay, these 5 weeks in June here. I'm going to do all of those and email my team. Now, before I got into scheduling, this is very important. Before I got into scheduling any people, one of the things that I did was talk to my people and tell them, hey, you have a deadline to tell me your block out dates. Okay. And so now they've already come through, and I did multiple, I gave them a whole week to set their block out dates, get on their calendar and block out the dates that they could or couldn't be here. And that's especially important over the summer. Okay, so we're clicking on one of these worship services here, and we're just coming into this not necessarily to look at this service or anything. This is for a Sunday morning, but I want to show you how to do a template. Okay, I want you to come over here to the right hand side of the page where it says matrix and actions, and we're going to click on action and then come down to settings. Okay, after we click on settings, I want you to look over here at this right here. We've got settings, teams, templates, and reports. Okay, we're going to go to templates, click on that. And this is just giving you an idea of how you can set yourself up. My assumption is that you're setting up a worship set and a set list thing in Planning Center for your youth group. Okay, and so we're going to do a test one here. We're going to come over here to add template, and we'll call it test. Okay. Now we've got a couple of things here that we can look at. Basically, as you get, this is important to have because as your team grows and as it changes, you might want to change some of these things, and it's kind of hard to find if you don't already know where it is, right? So basically what this is that same generic worship set that we built over here inside of a Google Doc. We're going to build this same thing as well. All right. We're going to start with a header that says games, a header that says announcements, and then an item under that with who's giving the announcement, a couple song spots, prayer, speaker, and song. Okay, so we'll use this as a reference, and then we're going to build the same thing inside of services. Okay, so we're going to start with the game. Now, one of the wonderful things about Planning Center is that they have some shorthand here, and so you can hover over the spot where you want to be and hit an H, and it will create a new header. Now this header doesn't do anything other than it lets you label things. Okay, so we'll label this game in all caps. Okay, all right. Next, we're going to add another header for announcements. Okay. Now, under this announcement, I want to give an indication as to who is going to be doing that and how long it's going to take them. Now, one of the other shorthands that is not down here is I. You can add, you can either just start writing right here on this, or you can hit I, and that means item. And so we'll put youth leader there. Now, once we add that, we can click on it, and we can change how long he's got to make announcements. Okay, 3 minutes of announcements is plenty. And then he can get in here later and be like, let's talk about camp. Let's talk about fundraising and car wash. Okay. All right, hit the X, and now he's got his announcements. It's his responsibility, and those three things are happening. Okay. All right. What's next? We've got those two things, and then we've got two songs. Okay. We're going to add a header here that says worship set. And we're going to say 2 songs. Okay. Now we're going to add another header that says prayer. We're going to add who's doing that, youth leader. Is praying. And let's give him 2 minutes to pray. Okay. Next, we're going to add another header for speaker. Item is youth leader. And we only want him to speak for 25 minutes. Okay. One more header. That's misspelled response. Song of response. All right. All right. So there we have our sets, and then we'll add one more header for small groups to remind everybody to go to their small groups. Okay. So since this is a template, you don't actually want to put any songs in here, because then anytime you were to schedule this, it would populate those songs into here, and you don't need them. Okay. So we can add people, we can add needed positions. I found that adding needed positions is great. And so as far as a team is concerned, let's say we've got 1 acoustic guitarist needed, 1 bassist, 1 drummer, no electric, 1 keyboard player. We need 1 background vocal, 1 lead vocalist. We don't need a service coordinator because we're doing that right now. Yeah. So after you've scheduled your needed positions, you'll come up here and hit done. Okay, and so now these are all here. Now you can also edit different teams as well. You can manage your teams. You can set your rehearsal times, and you can get really granular about all of this. And that is helpful to have your rehearsal times built into this as well. I just kind of want to give you an idea of how to populate this. This is another way to see your teams. You can always come over here and hit show all teams. You could add the tech team in here, or whoever, or your youth leader. For right now, we're just dealing with the people who are on the stage. Okay. So this is our test one.